Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome to a video today. Oh yes, the second Yugioh S.H MonsterArts release, Red Eyes, Black Dragon. Check out that box, looking perfect and beautiful. Now if you didn't check out my review back in I think December for the Blue Eyes, go check it out. And then yeah, jump straight into this video here. Now I believe Red Eyes here was originally shown at Tamashii Nation's back in November. Might have been announced before then, but at least the first time we saw him in person I think. Anyway, it's been a while. Since then we do have a release announcement. I think pre-order is actually already open as well for, is it Elemental Hero, E-Hero? Anyway, one of those ones, I think the GX generation. Personally I'm not into that era, so I'm not grabbing it personally. But I know a lot of people were definitely pumped for that release. Personally, I'm after more of the dragons and monsters. I really want Exodia. But anyway, let's save that for the end of the video. Now the box itself is the same design as the Blue Eyes, but we have Red Eyes in a, I guess, lying down position inside with a window open. It looks really cool, kind of breaking through the hieroglyphic, you know, tiles in the back, which is cool. Selection images showcasing what it comes with. Again, very similar to Blue Eyes, but we get the blast effect of the stand, so you can be in the flight form. And then it seems he can fold his wings around as well, which is really cool. So yeah, what I'll do, I'll pop him out of the box so we can check out the inner packaging. So this is very similar to the Blue Eyes layout. Again, Red Eyes lying down with his wings tucked up, and then we have all the different stand parts scattered around with the additional claws, which is cool, and then his blast effect. Also have the base stand here, which was attached to the back, but cable's coming off, so I've just taken it off for now. So yeah, looking really cool. Actually quite a bit packed in here. It's a small thing actually, but I really do enjoy the layout of the inner packaging, right? How they arrange everything to fit in, and you know, I'm pretty sure that's probably a determining factor for what accessories they can put in as well, right? Like for here we have all the different arms. They need to make sure this is packaged so it won't get broken in transit, especially maybe going from like one country to the other. If they just put it loose, maybe it might, you know, there could be risks of breaking. So I don't know, it's one of the small things which I'm always fascinated in when opening up the boxes. Sometimes the box art itself is almost just as beautiful as the figure that they contain. But anyway, let's switch over and we can pop them out and chuck them on the turntable. Okay, so as the Red Eyes swings around here, hopefully you can see all the detail. I did grab another light just in case, since he is very dark, and I think a lot of those details will, well, at least they may not come across on camera as clear as what I would hope they would. So yeah, first off, definitely harder to stand up compared to Blue Eyes. It could be the proportions, or you know, I guess he seems to have longer legs than the Blue Eyes as well, and then the weight and kind of the balancing of him is a little bit trickier. But man, that tail looks amazing. And you know, one thing I want to point out, this kind of does have a matte finish to him, which is really nice. But then it is base black or charcoal, but there's also subtle browns and reds in there as well. So I'm not really sure if it's a layering effect done with a dark brown reddish colour underneath and then the grey on top. But I'm definitely getting tints of, you know, kind of reddish colouring coming through his base, I guess, scale colour. Now on top of that, on the top or the tips of the spine or the spikes, there's a real subtle silver finish on there as well. So there's, for such as, I guess, the initial, I guess, thoughts or, you know, impression you get from this, wow, this is simple, just base straight colour. But actually no, the more you look at it, especially under different lighting, the more, like, I guess, even the sculpting of the wings there's like all the, I guess in a muscle membrane, I guess it would be for a wing coming through, and then the silver, the subtle reddish brown tints coming through as well. So this, I don't know, I'm digging the finish on this actually. It's actually gone above and beyond my initial expectation. And then like the red eye, that metallic-y paint there, looking so good with that purple colouring for the tongue and the inner mouth, with the silver on the teeth. Such a cool looking figure. I really want more dragons, more monsters from Yu-Gi-Oh! Give me all the gods, give me Exodia, Starlight Dragon, oh, so many I want. Maybe it's bad for my wallet. But definitely let me know in the comments below who else you want from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Line. But yeah, the finish on this is beautiful. But yeah, let's jump over and we can take a look at the articulation points on this figure. I definitely feel like so far a stand is very very much needed for a lot of opposers due to the weight balance that I mentioned a little bit ago. But anyway, without further ado, let's jump into the articulation. Now, starting with the head itself, the mouth opens up, you know, quite wide actually. You can definitely get it wide open. I keep in mind that the joint does move individually over the top part, so it can look a bit skew whiffy if you do, you know, pose in different angles, so make sure you align them for your final pose. The neck itself feels so fluid. So basically each one of these points is an additional joint. Over the top one here, the second one, there we go, starts moving now. So great range going down, going up. Look at that, amazing. Open his mouth for an attack, like as you can tell, I am digging this release. But yeah, the neck feels super fluid, and all the motion is so good. Decent range there. But anyway, coming down to the arms, we get the 1-2 joints, the shoulder and the elbow, and then the third one for the wrist peg. The wrist peg, there's a sharp. Okay, the wrist peg is nice, good motion. Again, we can swivel everything up and around. The shoulder joint, definitely a little bit more limited. But I think for the most part we can get all the motion that we need or want out of it without too much issue. Moving over to the wing, we have a main joint where the wing attaches to the body on a nice good chunky peg. This will swivel all the way around and we get a decent range of motion there as well. Next we have another peg for the top part so we can swivel up and down. And then these two inner parts of the wing are on their own individual peg. Just like the blue eyes, I will give you a warning. These are thin and I'm pretty sure they are probably the most delicate point of this figure, so do be careful, especially if you are taking out of a box and repackaging it. I can imagine if you put pressure on the wrong way, you could probably snap them off in there, so be very careful. That is definitely a delicate part of this release or figure. But you know, again, very similar to the blue eyes in terms of emotion, and yeah, everything does feel really nice. Now for the leg and center torso area, we do get a bit of motion in the torso. Not much, I think it's pretty much, while they are individual parts, I wouldn't really say we get any real motion there. A couple of mil swivel on that kind of hip joint. But the leg itself, we have a nice ball joint there. So the peg is pretty chunky, just like the wing one, so we get some motion. The knee joint as well, so double jointed there. So decent range of motion, and then same for the ankle, so lots of motion here. I found posing it was the ankle joint that made it a little bit harder, because depending on the angle it might just fold up on itself due to the weight of the figure above. So yeah, take some time to get into the right angle when you do want to pose him standing up on his two legs. Now moving over to one of my favourite parts of any MonsterArts, and that is the tail. And yeah, get swivel, and each one of these is its own point of articulation. Oh man, feel that, looks so nice. I really wish they would do this. I say this every time. I wish they would do this for the Dragon Ball line. Seriously, the Dragon Ball lead needs to go take a lesson from the MonsterArts team on how to do tails, because seriously, a Freezer release with this style tail, oh, chef's kiss. That would be amazing. But at least, you know, on these MonsterArts figures we do get badass tails, and this feels so nice. Decent range of motion, as you can see. And all the joints are holding up really well. Often with tails, since there's so many joints, sometimes they can pop off if you push it too far. But so far this one's feeling really good, and everything is holding in place without any issues. Now if you do pop one off, just pop it back in. Generally they will be designed to pop off before they break. So just keep you know, an eye out for how far you can push each joint, and you know, try to avoid going beyond that where possible. Okay, so we've got the red eyes up on the stand with that blast. Oh, so cool. As I mentioned, we do get the additional clamps like the blue eyes that we can put on either side and clamp onto the wing for extra stability. Though with just the base, you can balance them on there without any issues. Now if you live in Japan where we have lots of earthquakes, I probably don't recommend it. But if you live in a very stable country, you're probably fine to not use these. But you know, to be on the safe side, I would recommend. Now we do have the blue eyes here for a bit of a comparison, and overall size and you know, scaling wise they align really well. Both amazing subtle paint job finishes on these figures. Though I must say, I think I kind of prefer the red eyes black dragon. Ooh, this is really hard to pick because you know, I've always been a big fan of blue eyes, especially with that xenomorph style head. But yeah, which is your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. Yeah, I don't know, but I think both of these are so cool. We really need a Yugioh figure, right? But before I talk a bit more about that, let me check this on the turntable and we can kind of go into the pros and cons of this release. So now that it's on the turntable, swinging around, start with pros and cons. I mean, obviously the pro is that finish. It is so subtle and beautiful with the, you know, dark kind of black charcoal colors with the subtle, you know, bronzy, reddy brown undertone, the silver finishing on the scale tips. So cool. That blast effect is looking amazing with the dark reds, lighter reds. The stand is really good, same as with blue eyes of course, but you know, it works well. The articulation of the figure, I think from the neck, tail, amazing. I think the leg joints, a bit of a corners for joints, it could be mine, it's a bit loose, a little bit more fiddly to stand up. But you know, it's not a drastic con or anything like that, but it's something to keep in mind. I think you really do need to use the stand to you know, hold up or you know, for you know, displaying him. It would have been nice to be able to easily do standing poses like the blue eyes, but you know, I think the weight balance is a little bit different. You know, the tail is smaller with red eyes, whereas I think the top part is a bit more heavier. So you know, subtle differences in his design, and yeah, I think his legs, from what I can tell, are definitely a bit longer. So that all makes things a little bit harder to balance. But you know, it's not a huge con or anything like that to have to use the stand. But I do want to point it out at least. Yeah, you know, overall I don't really have any real major cons so far with this line. They've lived up to what they were trying to deliver, and it's definitely got me excited for more releases. Now personally I won't be getting the next one. I just have no interest in that, you know, that character or that monster. And to be honest, I'm buying way too much figures as this, so I need to cut back. And I'm sure everyone's kind of in a similar boat lately, especially with costs going up. We're all trying to cut back where we can to focus on what we do and truly like. But I'm really looking forward to getting a Yugioh, Kaiba, even you know, Joey, all the base original character and like figure arts figures, but no word yet. However, there were, I think, some scans going around from a magazine announcement of a Yummy Yugi Amazing Yamaguchi release, or Revotek. Now if that comes out first, I think I might need to jump in on that line. If that does happen, you know, if they do a figure out one, I'm likely to get most, you know, I'd have to see what happens at that time. But yeah, are you guys itching to jump on a articulated Yugioh character lineup as well? I know Revotek has been doing, I think, the GX, or is it ZD or D? I can't remember. One for bike, right? Anyway, they haven't done the original series characters yet. So yeah, if they do, are you going to jump all in? Definitely let me know, because I know I am itching for a Yugi release. So yeah, that is it for this review. Oh, sorry, I completely forgot. You can change his hands. You might have noticed already. As I pointed out earlier, this is the base one, which is more of a claw, but his left one I switched out with that hind claw more spread out. So it is nice that we have the option for both left and right, so you can pop those off just like any hand on a figure. So yeah, it does look a lot better with doing the flying, you know, kind of a shooting attack pose. So that is another pro for this figure. But yeah, there's your hands. That is cool. So yeah, now we can finish up the review. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you're grabbing this line. If you are and you're taking photos, tag me in them on Insta. Love to see what you're doing. I really need to do some more toy photography with these figures. I'm just looking for some cool ideas actually. Anyway, I will need to ponder on that over the next few weeks, and hopefully I can get some cool photos together for these figures. So yeah, anyway, that is it for the video. So again, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, cheers!